retards still exist on the internet? Okay. Yeah. For the most part. It's holding up pretty good. Shady part is it's hard for me to see the comments, but whatever. I'll wait till they get all the way to the top. We'll wait a little bit.
Flight boss, bitch. For sure.
Access seat. Okay. You know what? Okay, I'm just gonna hold it for now. Take it forward. So we are on the road, as you see, having a conversation, more or less, about. No, I was talking to myself. There's no one else in the car, by the way. So I was told to say that. So. Getting my story straight. Okay, there was not a conversation. It was a comment mentioned. I decided to do a hangout because it's a lot of driving. So, but we mentioned this earlier. Someone had mentioned it earlier in the hangout that I had when I was back at home, and it's like, oh shit, what's the topic again? Oh, evolution. Oh, great. So. It's kind of one of those things that pops up a lot. It's like, why is this still a fucking topic? And there's an easy answer and there's a not so easy answer. The easy answer is people who have come to certain conclusions in their life can't find a way to make like actual scientific facts gel very well with their current set of beliefs. Like that's the easiest answer there is to it. For them, it is too far of a stretch for them to try and reconcile their very stringent religious beliefs with reality. That's all there is to it. People who actively deny biological evolution are delusional and to some degree also dishonest. And I say to some degree because some of them are genuinely confused and they don't actually understand it as well as they claim. And I've met a few who have been miseducated, you could say, misinformed, and they genuinely are trying to come to grasp with their understanding of the world. Now, there are others on here who make it their mission to try and do something, I guess, about how well regarded this particular theory is, and it's laughable to some degree, and also quite sad, because I can tell you in my academic endeavors, I talk about evolution 0.0001% time of any other topic that actually comes up in like the shit that I do. Of course, me and my peers love talking about things on the horizon, the ethical approaches to certain areas of research, especially dealing with growing artificial meat. So, just to give you a perfect example, we had an entire discussion on that, and cloning came up in molecular genetics. There's certain topics that people you'll hear a lot about, but evolution isn't one of them, and I'll tell you why actually. Yeah, Alexander, you can tell this dude whatever the fuck you want. He's already made it up in his mind that is not a fact. He doesn't actually care for evidence. He doesn't. One thing, he doesn't understand it. And y'all know the retard I'm talking about. But and to just be quite frank with you, he actually did tell me at one point when he and I were having a conversation on the phone that he could not come to that conclusion, because this came up because he was mentioning how he talked to certain people and he already knows that they could never come to the conclusion of a God, because some people have it in their mind that, and I'm paraphrasing, some people have it in their mind that they could never come to that conclusion. And I mentioned, well, aren't you one of those people? And then I offered the example of evolution, and he agreed, like he could never come to it. Doesn't matter what's put in, oh fuck, Church Point, drive faster, oh god. Yeah, so it doesn't matter what anyone actually says. And so, but we all know quite a few people like that. Recently, now, was Standing for Truth, you know, Nephi, Tommy Hall. None of these fuckers actually understand it as well as they claim to. None of them. I've yet to actually hear them, even though some of them will genuinely say, well, you know what, if we're talking about biological evolution is the change in allele frequency over time, that's cool that you've repeated that, which most of us agree with, but in the context of what you're trying to debunk, it actually doesn't fit, because then you have people who are trying to bootstrap other shit that has nothing to do, like actually most recently, what's this fucking SpongeBob, Standing, it has come to my attention that he's inserting a whole bunch of pseudoscientific bullshit in there that comes from his religion, not science. And I think one of them is genetic or genomic entropy. No fucking idea what that is. And so when I inquired and I talked to a few people, it is, well, our genomes are degrading over time. What the fuck does that even mean? What do you mean? Are the collective telomeric fucking sequences getting shorter? Like are the fucking poly A tails becoming shorter on the RNAs? Like what does that actually mean? What does that mean? Specifically, what is that in reference to? In molecular biology, what actually happens so that I can look at it and see, yes, identify that is indeed genetic entropy from one generation to the next. Is it a cleaving of certain fucking constitutive genes? What is it specifically? So it is bullshit like that really tells me, one, this dude probably was taught in his mama's kitchen and he doesn't actually have like a genuine education. Two, he needs to make up shit in order to get across what he personally believes. And there's no actual backing to it. There's no actual empirical evidence to back what the fuck he's saying. So, yeah, you're going to have to excuse those of us who actually understand this topic just a little bit from setting aside time to talk to this retard. Because there's nothing that these guys actually at the table other than their own credulity. And it's still a topic because for them, that's their hill that they want to die on. They don't want to actually go in. I keep using that word actually. I love the word. But it's something that they're not going to let go anytime soon. They're not going to let go of this like a dog grabs a fucking tire, because for them, this is where the battle is. This is where they think that they can actually gain ground. But when you try and ask some of these guys, like, what are you actually doing? How are you? So if you, let's assume for a second that there's some grand conspiracy and all the big science head people with the white lab coats and, you know, the fancy pocket protectors, I don't know, and their beakers and their flasks. What are you actually doing? Are you going to beat them up and fuck them behind a dumpster at fucking, I don't know, Taco Bell? Like, are you sending them anthrax in the mail? Like, what are you doing to combat what you feel is happening in academia, why it's still being taught and why it's still being perpetuated as fact? Well, one of the reasons why, TLDR version, because it fucking is fact. It has evidence to support it, and it's a thing. That I don't know any other way to describe it. I can dress it up and make it sound better, but it has evidence to support it. Therefore, blah. So, one of the things I would love to see, some of these people who love beating this fucking drum to actually go into the field. And I'm putting a huge emphasis on this actually, because this actually means you need to actually get your ass up and actually fucking do something, actually. Not be on the internet talking to people who are actually in academia or about to leave academia with some fucking credentials or something behind their goddamn name. Something. Because guess who the people are that are writing the books? It ain't you. It ain't your buddies on a fucking blog and say, you know, you need to shove 12 oranges up your ass so you can cure lupus or some bullshit like that. Only idiots believe shit like that. And so that's going to be your audience. But if you're trying to get an audience of people who are knowledgeable and who can make salient points, it's going to require a little bit more than that, you know, just maybe a little bit more than that. But I'm with you all. Like, for those of you who get tired of, like, why are we talking about evolution again? I'm right there with you. I really am not a huge fan of that topic at all. I'm talking about it ad nauseum, literally for years, and it's not really my area anyway. Like, if we're talking about you know, cell biology, you know, like specifically like cancer and stuff like that, there we go. That's drag style. I love talking about that. That's why when Tommy tried to talk about that with me, oh, I was giddy. I was like, good bitch, let me understand what you think happens in the body. And oh my goodness, oh, he learned a new phrase, angiogenesis. What the fuck is that, Tommy? Like, it is so easy to tell when someone's having a conversation that they know what the fuck they're talking about. That is that word again, shibboleth. They have this shibboleth about it. But the difference is when you're talking to, and I'll give you a perfect example, my cancer biology professor, and he doesn't know something, he's not going to sit there and bullshit you. The people on here bullshit you. But when you have somebody who's secure with their knowledge, they don't have to pretend at all. At all. What he calls people he's sucking off at truck stops. You know what? He calls them. I don't even have a good name for it now. Clients. Like, I guess. Yeah, clients. He calls them clients, or John. All of their names are John, by the way. All of them. They're Johns. So I have to wonder, and maybe one of them can answer this question. I have a few questions. I'm seeing nothing but Cajun Markets and Boudin and stuff. If y'all see me looking over here, I'm looking at the truck signs, the truck. Goddamn it, Sibylla. The exit signs for all kind of shit. Trying not to stop because we're in Lafayette right now. We're gonna stop in Lafayette on the way back. Grab some po' boys. So, but here's what I want to know. By the way, if you don't, this is for CCP and honorary CCP members and anyone who I guess follows this stupid shit and is a proponent of, like, anti-science shit, anti-evolution, all this stupid shit. And you make it your mission to try and denounce the evil evolutionists wherever you find them. What exactly is your goal? What specifically do you think you can do? Or if you don't have an answer to that, what do you think should happen? Wow, you know, should curriculums change, or should science as a whole, as an institution, change? Should there be some different, I guess, the philosophy of how science is conducted or something? What should change? Okay. Answer that for me. Riddle me that. because I am genuinely curious what is going on up here. So, follow-up question. We're coming to a stop. I don't know what's going on. Second question, follow-up question. What do you think that your efforts are actually doing? Because, like I said, I've not seen many of these folks, or any of them, try to go into academia to combat it where it is, to go to the source. Oh, Ambassador Cafferty, I'm a mile and a half away from my old job at Home Depot. Oh, look at that. But you know, if you're not going into, you know, these fields, then how exactly are you combating it? Because being on the internet and making a YouTube channel doesn't really seem very efficacious to me. That to me, I'm not sure what has come of that. And I give you, you know, believe it or not, and this is kind of tangential, PETA actually has had an impact on scientific research because of PETA and their aversion towards us, you know, using product testing on animals and sacrificing animals for research. They've raised a huge stink. Now they've not stopped it, but they've created the stink that they've raised for that has created now standards for labs, and so you do need a veterinarian. And so before you actually start working with animals, you have to get the shit cleared by a veterinarian to make sure that it is ethical and all that good shit. I didn't know that. That's something that I recently learned this summer from my professor. So, you know, PETA has actually done more than some of these folks. So maybe somebody can answer that. You can leave me a nice fucking comment or something. I might read it. If you don't test on animals, will you test on insects? No, testing on mice is a pretty good idea. I mean, they kind of have certain genes that may be similar to ours, maybe very similar. You know what? You could even say that mouse models are an ideal candidate to use just because of how similar they are genetically to humans. I don't know. You might just do that, but if you listen to folks here, people who don't know, yeah, we can't test on CCP members. Not all animals are covered for animal testing, so some animals aren't suited. So that's why we can't test on CCP members. Sorry, but what about livestock? Do they count as animals like pigs? They do, but for genetic research, you want to use something that's most similar to the target of whatever, you know, therapy that you're trying to develop. So in this case, mice are very, very genetically similar to us, and they're easy to breed. They make tons and tons of pups. There's a quick turnover time from when they are born to the time that they're able to procreate. So they do better than, you know, our most close relative. So happy stay, Lafayette. But yeah, and also this may I don't know people's stomachs. Mice are easy to kill too. So you know, for mice, there's a technique you can use where you can just hold. Well, I can't really do it. So basically, at the base of their skull, you can pull it, and you can pretty much dislodge their skull from their vertebra and kill them. So if they're easy to kill like that too, that's also a plus. Again, just one of the things that kind of makes them, you know, prime candidates for a study. But with that, internal decapitation. There we go. It is unfortunate that you have to do that, but there are technologies being created now so that we can hopefully one day move away and, you know, use something that's that will resemble our, you know, biomolecular system. It's called organ on a chip or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it's called. I think it's like, yeah, something like organ on a chip, where you have pretty much, it's not a homunculus, folks, but it's a chip, and it has different slots that you can connect to, and then you have different cell types, you know, for pancreas, for you know, whatever, you know, tissue that you're trying to see, you know, what happens with what. Because as we know, these tissues don't act in isolation; they act in conjunction with your other tissues that are around you. So if I'm testing the effects of caffeine, well, of course I'm going to want liver tissue, but that's not the only type of tissue that's impacted by caffeine. And so having all the other tissues around it, especially the ones that, if I'm trying to learn, well, what other organ system does caffeine interfere with, or not interfere, that interact with, it helps to have all of them. But you can study that in a live mouse, one too, but it would be better if we could get it close to us. But again, that's a technology that's something that we're trying to work on, rather than, that was weird, it froze up. Yeah, oh, okay, yeah, if you're wondering what happened to him, he's still around. He didn't go. He's been watching Three Black Heathens and some other channels. Ask me how I know, but yeah, he's still around. He hasn't really gone anywhere. He just kind of lurks. He just goes into, you know, times where he wants, and he kind of picks and chooses when he wants to crop back up. So it's about that time, so he'll probably crop up and suck off one of his fucking, you know, butt buddies here later. So it'll happen eventually, but he ain't doing shit, folks. Just like the rest of them ain't doing shit. Antonio, I think, is on Discord now. He popped back up to defend Kavanaugh, some other shit, you know, Coons Unite, whatever. But I've not really heard from much of the CCP, other than the retarded ringleader and the cheerleader. Other than that, again, I'm not subscribed to him. Only reason I even know about this because people send me screenshots and let me know that they're doing stupid shit. So I might tune in for a few minutes and laugh at them and then just go throughout my day. Because honestly, I do have better shit to do than to fuck around with clowns. What do you say about Kavanaugh? I mean, it was, you know, kind of, oh, here the Democrats go, you know, nothing. Like, I took all 2 seconds to look at his shit. I'm pretty sure, you know, I'll give him credit. I believe he did make a similar point that I made about setting a precedent by just believing anybody and circumventing due process. I want to say he made that statement. Don't quote me on that, but I'll just give that to Antonio, since I think even he could make a really obvious point like that. But nothing that he'll be very heavy-handed with his criticism and denounce what he sees as the terrible left, and won't even really attempt to offer an objective view on it. Like, it's like, at least if I'm going to go in on someone, I'll let you know, as a fuck him. I'm not even going to try. But Antonio, one of my issues is that he tries to come across as being fair-minded, but he's not even trying. It's like, you know, let me suck off Veckel and read something from his Facebook page and then get it all fucking excited. That's pretty much what it is. If you've ever seen any Veckel's shit on social media, he's a proverbial black guy trying to impress all of his white friends. That's about it. And that's a part of me hates to say that, but that's exactly what he fucking does. And it's, I don't know why that's a thing, but maybe in his life, you know, he just said, you know, fuck all black people. I don't know. I don't purport, his own brother doesn't even know, so who knows. But other than that, yeah. I hope the video reaches some retarded CCP members, and maybe they can leave a nice little comment. And I'll I'll even respond to it. I'll even respond when they answer the questions that I had asked about what do they think that they can do about the evolution, the theory of evolution, and the evolutionists who are spreading it. What do they actually think's happening? Are they trying to write their own science books, or they're trying to get science books amended, or I don't know how this is. Oh shit, we gotta go on a different lane. What's going on?
Can't see.
There's big ass vehicles. I don't know, something's going on here. So let you know, if you are a Patreon, you do have access to my liquid nitrogen video. I recorded it way back, and I was going to put it in a big compilation of stuff, but I decided just to do it in chunks, and partially because I had to do a system refresh, and I lost some shit. So that's on there. I am still considering doing a beatdown video of the retard, and for if you're not to give his ass a platform, but it'll be unlisted and it'll be for $1, and if idiots want beef, then they have to pay for it. Other than that, you guys can share it amongst yourselves, because at the end of the day, it's for y'all. The only reason it's being put up on Patreon is because that takes away that removes, giving them a platform, and it also takes away the excuse that anybody starting anything. And I do plan on kind of branching out and doing more kind of breakdown videos of. I'll probably check out Dolo again, but the other guy, Eligio Bishop, aka Master Teacher, Nature Boy of Melanation, formerly known as Melanation, currently Carbonation, and I might do that like once a week, but I'll have special videos uploaded just for Patreons, and there will be a video about this trip, kind of behind the scenes, me, Monty, Mr. Drag, Scientist Mel, and so you guys will be greeted with that, and I'll have that probably later this week or later this month for you guys. So that's that. Antonio would ban people from teas. Yeah, Lucifer. That's one of the sad things too, because I talked to him about that, about how he just like the wanton like banning people left and right. Evidently, True told him to do that, and that it really wasn't his choice to conduct himself like that. But since T told him just to ban anyone who says this, he was just following orders. So okay, because I do notice that Antonio typically doesn't do that on his own channels. But if Antonio did behave like that on his own channel, I would go in on him. But since he doesn't, he gives the benefit of the doubt for me. So I would have gone, why is it still debated? Well, I know why it's still debated, but why is it still a topic on here? It's still a topic because you can't. There is no debate, and let me clarify that. A debate happens between two people of comparable knowledge and background as far as their education. Okay, a debate happens on that level. What happens on here is not a fucking debate. There was no debate between me and the retard from New Jersey. That was not a debate. For God's sakes, the idiot used a satirical fucking website as evidence. That wasn't debate. That was a sham. That was a show for people to enjoy themselves and possibly learn something from what I presented, and to laugh at this idiot. That's it. That is it. That was not a debate. Was never a debate. So that's just the bare bone facts of it. Uh-oh, somebody got in a wreck. Slowing us down, man. Getting there. That's okay. We'll still get there before Scientist Mel. Aha. But that's why I hate even referring to. That's why we call it a derp bait. A derp bait. Oh. Yeah. So that's and that's something I kind of wanted to talk about in my other hangout, but I never. Well, we started moving topics quite rapidly, so I did want to address this because occasionally people do, wonder, and I think it's a great question. Why is it still a topic? Why hasn't anything actually progressed? Well, that's it. That's really it. It is the people who bring this shit forth don't understand it. They make up shit and they think that they're doing something. They think that they're changing. They think that they're changing the narrative because anybody can come onto a topic and shit on it. Anybody can do that. It's not hard. It's not hard at all. So why would you think that because you can come and shit on a topic that's somehow changing people's minds? Beats the hell out of me. I don't know. I don't know. I wish I knew. So I did bring my laptop and my stuff with me, so I'm gonna be doing a little bit of work while I'm here. But other than that, later tomorrow night, we'll probably meet up with Scientist Mel tonight and get a pregame going, and do a little bit of maybe a bar crawl or two. We'll see. But definitely tomorrow night we're gonna be getting with them, doing the hangout, and then after that it's balls to the wall. So no, I've not looked up the info. I've been on the road and trying to figure out how to get to this place. So I'll probably spend some time tonight or tomorrow refreshing myself on that stuff. So have you looked up the info we talked about? Well, I said it wasn't a debate, it was a schooling. Anytime you're talking to the SpongeBob guy, that's pretty much, I would say pretty much a school. I've not heard any salient points in any conversation, ever. Even when he was on Skylar's channel, he actually wouldn't even mention when he was engaged with Sam. And then the other conversation he was with CRISPR, he brought up his genetic entropy bullshit and didn't seem to get that he can't just make up shit. I'm not sure how else to put it. I'm sorry, your less than cursory understanding of how genomics works, that you can't use that as leverage in a conversation with people who actually understand the topic. Maybe it's just me. Any one of my classes and speak to any one of my instructors who knows, literally decades worth of knowledge and education and teaching, and then just make up shit. And so I think that I understand the shit. No, that's not how any of this works. I'm sorry, your PBS and Wikipedia education can't actually compete here. Sorry, not sorry. Speaking of Wikipedia, how you doing, Warning? What's going on? Are you still using? How did that research go? By the way, I was looking forward to that research. Oh, if y'all don't know what I'm talking about, he was doing some research on the effects of music upon certain people's behaviors. So he was going to dive deep and find out if there's any causal link between certain people's behaviors and a certain genre of music. Again, I'm waiting on the results of that bad boy. So I'm surprised. I was expecting more of him. He was destined for great things. Great things, folks. Maybe one day he'll finally breed outside of his family tree. We'll see. I still have high hopes for him. I still have high hopes. Why does this guy have a picture of some guy on the back of his truck? That's so weird. 1-800 Fawn Dart. Drive like a boss. All right, that's okay. That's weird. Well, apparently they will teach homeschool should be more valid. Yeah, Jesus Lord, got to teach it. Yeah, I should hold my breath for that research. I should. I've been told that I don't know how many jobs Jesus Lord has, because he was a teacher. He was when he talked to me, he was a biology teacher. I forgot what he told Skylar. He also taught, but he wasn't a substitute, but he wasn't a full-time teacher. But it was biology. I think he taught finance too, or mathematics or something, or it might have been statistics. I forget which. It was one of them. It was some math-oriented or math-related field. And then was it insurance? Was he an insurance salesman too on the side? And there was another job that I can't remember. This was some weeks ago, and I lost track. It was just odd that every single conversation we had, he just so happened to have a job in that field currently. It's so odd. Next week he'll be a fucking spaceship door gunner. Who knows? I'm waiting on him to tell me how to write an op order. It's amazing. It's almost like he's bullshit. Biology teacher, history teacher, math teacher, seminary. Thank you. Insurance salesman. Okay, so cool. Yeah. Did he use Excel to teach that? Yes, he does. All the cool people use Excel. Yes. For those of you who don't get that joke, I use Excel in my statistics course. So yes. You have to wonder something, and it's not just with him. It's with it's like, especially like True. You have to wonder, when they bullshit you, do they really think that you believe it, right? Because I can sit here and say, you know what, I'm just like Big Pun in the song Still Not a Player. He says you can't measure his dick with 6 rulers. Okay, this man's dick was not longer than 6 rulers, right? It's hyperbole. But did Pun expect people to literally believe that? No, it was hyperbole. He was saying it to be funny. When these dudes say shit like this, when True tells people that the only reason I'm going to school is to impress people on the internet, does he really think that I believe that one thing, that he's fucking psychic now, that I believe that, and that anybody else believes that? Because if he would have said, I'm just being funny, ha ha ha, man, that's a pretty good joke, that's funny, whatever, right? You just toss it aside. But fuck, when Jesus is Lord saying shit like this, or the New Jersey retards saying shit like this, or anything for that matter, do they really, and I mean really, think that we believe them? I always wonder that. To this day, I still wonder whether they really believe, like honestly and truly, that we bullshit. Really. Yeah, Lucifer, I'm with you. True don't know shit other than probably how to breed dogs, and the only person I know on here that's really good with that is Nicola. And Nicola was kind of spotting some things, that some certain inconsistencies with claims and what was on videos. So that I'm scratching my head about that now too, because I was going to give him that. I was going to give him credit for making dogs fuck, because that's hard. So who knows? I'll be willing just to give him that, just so he can have something. I think I was talking to somebody about this. Who was I talking to? I was probably talking to Sam. People need something in their life. People need something to say, you know what, I am good at this. I am somewhat successful. What's on Us News? That dude is fat as hell. What is going on over here? Oh God, what is happening? So what? I don't even know what's going on. There's a news camera? I didn't know they made police officer uniforms that big. God damn. Bruh. Send to me. I It didn't even come up on my phone. All right, but holy hell, that took fucking ever. You know, yeah. Hey, Xavier, I gave you opportunity to come on the road trip, man. I gave you opportunity. I mean, it's not too late. You can come in late. You can sleep on the floor, I guess. Okay. No, okay, you can't sleep on the floor. No, you can sleep in the closet. But no, me and you will take a trip to Galveston and go see Frustrated Atheists. We'll do a fishing trip there. It'll be a guy's trip. Time to save the beer. Yeah. No, it's time for another trim. I meant to get it lower than this, but I was like, I'll just get it shaped up. So, yeah, like how. Oh fuck! What is going? God damn. Okay. People don't know how to drive today. Yeah, let's get out. Yeah, let's hit on the Opelousas. Jeez. I see why there's all those signs about if you get in an accident, call 337-888-888-888. 20 of those damn signs. It must be cheap. You got a lot of them. Count what, 12? Another one? We gotta get out of here. How does diet affect evolution or oxygen content? Why is that never touched? Oh, I'm not sure to really answer those. I would have to go and I'm not too sure I even understand the question. But I mean, we can talk about it later. But the thing, just on a surface level, we never get to talk about how environment impacts evolution or evolutionary pathways, because people don't accept it in the first place. See what I mean? So it's kind of futile to talk about something that people don't even accept. You know, talking about the characteristics of it or the manifestations of it. That's why we never get anywhere with it. Because I mean, Hogtie was talking about this a while back. Is that the conversations don't go anywhere. And I'm gonna paraphrase Hogtie, but not really. The conversations don't go anywhere because we're dealing with idiots. Idiots who have already made up their mind well before they came into the conversation. And since they did that, then the expectations for the conversation to go anywhere are just not there. It's direct. Something to come of nothing. There we go. You can't expect something to come from nothing. There, I said it finally. Okay, just go. Just come over. Come over. Oh my God. Okay. Okay. Just go the fuck over, dude. God damn. You are retarded. You are absolutely fucking retarded. You know that? God damn. So you see this thing, just fuck. Oh, now he wants to go. No. Just hit the sport button. Fucking. God damn, people are dumb. You see, I have mini road rage. There we go. Now we're back. Yeah, my whole fucking phone froze up. I don't know why. Talking to evolution, we're about to hit the next era. Climate change, massive. Yeah, well, we can have an interesting conversation on how humans will change in the next 500 generations, right? We can all sit around and speculate and take from what we know and try and see if we can fit it in there, you know, and kind of control our environment. But it's really hard to say, since, you know, really don't seem to be dying at a rate that will predict which ones of us will actually pass on. There's no real pathway that you could predict from how people are breeding, other than, well, people in closer proximity with one another will tend to breed together. You know, it's not often do people from Sweden breed with, you know, somebody from Australia, right? But even then, it's not happening at a high enough rate to say, okay, well, these people here are, oh, checkers rallies, fuck yeah, I remember that. I'm just saying, I just remember that. You know, there's no real way to say, well, these people are all tall, so they'll more than likely produce tall children, or, you know, something really obvious, you know, phenotypically speaking. There's not a real way to do that with humans, right? Because look at Kevin Hart, okay? All the women that he messes with are taller than him. You know, that's there's no, of course, that's, I guess, an exception, but still, there's no real way to tell, right? There's no definitive way, and evolution really doesn't, the theory of evolution doesn't purport to say, well, we can predict, you know, what this animal will look like in 50 billion years. There's no, that's not what that's about. All right, it's not what that's about. So when we get into these conversations, you'll hear people say stuff like that. Say, "Oh, why hasn't evolution shown us when the humans will grow wings?" Yeah, it doesn't say that, bro. That doesn't predict. It doesn't make those type of predictions. Like if you actually pick up a fucking book, you might see what those predictions are. You know what? Those predictions might be related to fitness. Let's start with fitness. We'll go there. Is this type of evolution? Is it directional? You know, you can look at there's the proto horse, all the way up to, you know, what we have, donkeys and whatnot, and to the big fucking stallions. There's a directional evolution with the evolution of how we got modern day horses. It's different when you're talking about what type of selection happens too. You can talk about all the different types of selections, and I'll just give you an example. You can have the predation, where you have like peppered moths is a classic example, where the ones who were not able to blend in with the soot-covered trees, those are the ones that were picked off by predators. So of course, the darker ones succeeded the lighter ones. Similarly, there's a thing with mice in Arizona, the rock, I think it's called rock pocket mouse. Yeah, I think rock pocket mouse, and their ability to blend in with the volcanic ash, the volcanic rock that's in that area. Sorry, not the ash. So you could talk about that and make a prediction off of that based on what's already happening, right? You can talk about cichlids, little African cichlids. They're little fish about that big, very, very colorful fish. They come in many species. They seem to breed, you know, through sexual selection. The brighter, the ones that have more keratin, the ones that are able to produce and just, you know, consume more keratin and display more vibrant colors, tend to be the ones that the females choose. And it's completely up to the females, from what I understand. So you can predict, you know, by making certain observations, that each subsequent generation will be quite vibrant. You know, certain things like that, based on what you're already observing. But it's not really keen to say, well, in the future they're just going to be fucking kaleidoscope, like they're all going to turn into kaleidoscopes or some shit like that. So you don't know. You can't predict something like a genetic bottleneck happening. You can go backwards and say, well, based on certain rates of mutation, you can say, well, there's inconsistency here. You know, there seems to be kind of a bottleneck as far as the genes from whatever this species was here. It's a lack of diversity, whatever. I'm not specifically sure how genetic bottlenecks like tens of thousands of years ago were determined, but from what I understand, they're due to that they can be detected by looking at rates of mutation among generations. So not too entirely sure. I have to give a Rational Mind, because I think that's more of his field. But again, we can have a conversation about that, because that is fascinating. That is actually fascinating. So, make a great sci-fi movie. What you saying? Only those with certain characteristics will survive in a new environment, and small pockets of population will evolve differently. Heretic, a good example of that, or I guess an extreme example of that, is the movie Time Machine, where humans evolved into like three separate species. The ones with the ones that survived the moon crash underground and above ground, and then the ones below ground split between two castes, where the ones that they selectively bred themselves, the one that had more cerebral powers and shit like that, were able to gain like psychic abilities, and the ones who had the physical prowess were able to breed with one another and become these hulking beasts who could dig underground and all this crazy shit. That's an extreme example, but it plays on that idea, right, of how selection works. I mean, it's fun. That's not really what would happen, but it's fun, So, let's just say an old scratch. Is it haploid groups? What do you mean by that? Yeah, no, yeah, I saw a warning up there. He's still looking for attention. That's okay. Y'all can give him all the attention you want. Poor boy. Poor boy. It must be pretty shitty, knowing that like within like a week or two, people are still trying to meet up and hang out with me, but nobody wants to hang out with him. Nobody actually wants to see him. It's kind of sad, actually. It's actually kind of pathetic, but oh well. So the topic is, why is it? Yes, immutable destiny. Yes, it is. Yeah, that is the topic. Is a hyena a dog? Hyenas are actually related to. There was something strange about one of their ancestors. I think they are to some degree related to dogs, but don't quote me on that. They have a strange ancestor that I didn't expect. I remember someone talking about it. Someone look that up, actually. I cannot remember what it was, but it might have been like a feline that's actually their ancestor. Huh. No, the cat. Yeah, I thought so. Thank you, Lucifer. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, that might have been it. They're actually a part of feline lineage, even though they appear, like dogs, like canids. Yeah, they're very. If you look into hyena reproduction, it's very strange. Very strange. If somebody designed hyena reproduction, they were high. Let me say that right now. They were absolutely fucking high. So, oh shit, this one wasn't supposed to do that. Oops. Got it mixed up. Hyenas related to egg flakes. Yes, they are. Absolutely. You're absolutely right. Yeah. Drag, I don't know if I've seen a person so consistently make false presumptions. Have you looked in the mirror? I mean, if I'm wrong, feel free to let me know who from the community wants to meet up with you. I have no problem saying that I was wrong about that, or anything else for that matter. So I will await your apology in triplicate. I expect 12-point font Times New Roman. I do accept Courier New, but and Arial, but it needs to be at least 3 paragraphs explaining exactly the evidence that's put forth for this particular claim. Please, no tears on the paper this time. It makes it hard to read through when there are smudge marks everywhere. Please don't do that. Keep all bodily fluids away from the paper, if you could. Small request. Small request. Double space to sync. You know what? Make it double space. Make it double space. I'm gracious. I am gracious. Calibri? I actually, if none of my instructors specify Times New Roman, I by default do Courier New. If you're wondering what my font of choice is, it is Courier New, because it looks like typewriter. So that's really for no other reason than I am just old enough to have used a typewriter. Yeah. Order Convora, suborder Filiformia. Ah, Filiforms. Yep, that's right. Huh. You know what? You're only cool if you write wingdings. That's the only time you're cool, if you write wingdings. Yeah. So let me just like, oh, now you're Kavanaugh. Oh, and now he's Kavanaugh. So how about this? I have seen literally no one request to see you in person. I've heard of no one ever wanting to meet you. Based on that, I can conclude safely that no one wants to see you or ever meet you in real life. I am open to the idea that someone is desperate enough and curious enough to pull you out of your fucking mom's basement. So, until otherwise shown, no one wants to see you. Sad but true. Sad but true. I mean, I'm en route right now to go see a few people, actually. So, have some fun. Morning, cool people. Oh, all the fun begins. Matter of fact, folks, let's see your best Warning Good People troll accounts and make it hurt. Make it hurt, folks. Make it hurt. Let's get some entertainment. Best way to piss him off is to ignore him. I agree, Lucifer. But I think he's had about probably 20-something years of that from his own family. So he's probably immune by now. You know. Man, that's nothing like a good bayou, folks. Look at that. Nothing like a good bayou. I'm at home. I get my superpowers back now that I'm back home. And I'll lose them again as soon as I fucking leave. Not staying here. Less than 2 hours, folks. Why were you filleting ghosts, by the way? So Abad, I was trying to. Let me try to speak Mandarin. All right. Not even gonna try. Not even. I was trying to say "have a good day," and I ended up getting "gu" and "gua" confused. I was trying my best to. I could, because it's hard for me to differentiate. Well, now that I'm saying "gua" and "gu," it's easy. But as I'm trying to say "have a good day," I started confusing the two, and he was just like, I don't understand what you're trying to say, and I was like, have a good day, Dr. Wayne. I'll send you an email. It was bad. It was bad. It was embarrassing, actually. It was embarrassing. I'm usually, I can impress most of the Indians there by my use of Hindi, and actually there's now like in the Indian like rumor mill, I guess the Indian fucking student network, they know about me. And so I said, oh yeah, I heard about you. Like, the fuck been telling you about me? It was probably Manisha, wasn't it? Or was it Amit? I think it was yeah, it was Diva. Fucking Diva. I don't know. But they know about me. So that was fun. They randomly told me about that. I was like, okay. So my infamy is growing. My Dr. Wang was impressed when I was like, Sheshe. And he was, oh, you speak Chinese? I was like, no. That's all I know. That's all I've been able to pronounce. So, yeah. I said, let me just stick with one language at a time. But he was pretty impressed with Cheshire. I was like, it's the same sound over and over again. So, but I don't even know where it's Gua. I think it's Gua. Gua? I think I don't know. Gua and G. Gua. It was a website I found, and you could press the buttons on it. You could hear the guy say it in 4 different, I guess, iterations. I don't know. Gua could mean melon or to wipe. That's quite a difference. Melon or to wipe. That that's interesting. Yeah, I was trying to say have a nice day, or have a good day rather, and it did not work. It did not work at all. It did sound like I was trying to fillet a ghost, and then if you actually read at the bottom in the comments, my mother was asking what the word fillet means, so that was fun. I had to tell my mother what fillet means. So that's always interesting. Yeah. Where's Warning White? I don't know. I think I know who Sock that is, but I don't think he's around. I think he's playing Minecraft or something. Yeah. My Spanish is okay. Actually, believe it or not, Sam speaks really good Spanish. That's how he impresses the Latin girls, but I didn't tell you that, of course. His Spanish is better than mine. I'm fucking surrounded by Tommy Hall fucking workers. You know. So, the ain't nobody got time for that lady, Tourette's guy, and Dragnaut Silvis. The internet's great place for morons to get great fans. Oh, okay. Thanks. Like I don't know why people are fans of me. I don't know why people even fucking, other than to watch exclusive videos. I don't know why people are Patreon or give me. I have no fucking idea. I don't know why people are me, man. Just some fucking guy. That's what I think, but that's just me. Don't know. But saying that sets a pretty low bar though. So if you're a better person, then you could easily get a following. Easily. So Warning just admitted to being a fan of CCP. Yeah. Oh no, he's already actually said that, Bot. He's actually a big fan of Jesus is Lord. He's actually started taking up. Well, he was taking up for G-Man a while back. So no, he's already like in the initiate stage to becoming a full-fledged CCP member. It's just he's hypersensitive rather than like becoming sensitive over time. So it's kind of hard for him to complete his training. So I think that's one of the hang-ups. I think they want him to grow a little bit thicker skin before they fully, induct him into the halls of idiocy. He's a mega snowflake. Oh yes. Oh yeah. We actually had an entire off-air hangout laughing at how sensitive Warring is. Like it had been like half an hour where we were exchanging stories, like me, Skylar, a bunch of others, and laughing and reading like the shit that he would put in comments, and the screenshots and shit from like the letter that he sat down and wrote out an entire letter to a grown-ass man. Like he could have done better chopping his own dick off and mailing it to Skylar. That would have been way better. I think. Did I discipline Annabelle? Yes, I did. I told her if she does not stop abusing her powers, I will stop sending her dick pics. So she has been disciplined. I called him a snowflake when Skylar's hangout. He immediately demanded my removal from the hangout 2 minutes after I started speaking. You should have started cursing him in fucking Mandarin. I would have. I would have told him he sucks his daddy's dick. But that's just me, because I'm an asshole. But man, like how sensitive do you have to be to demand Abad of all people get removed from a hangout? That's like being mad. Well, I was about to say be mad at CRISPR, but then again, CRISPR comes out with those fucking shots. But when CRISPR comes for you, you better be fucking ready, because he hurt some feelings this last week. He's put a few people on blast, and again, that's been a recent off-air hangout conversation that we've been laughing at. That's been funny. That's been funny. Oh man. CRISPR trick, yeah, CRISPR did. Oh my god. Yes, the fuck he did. I didn't think it was that bad. I was told about it, and then had a phone call about it, and then actually like off-air hangout, and I was like, I didn't think it was that serious, but holy shit. Holy shit. Somebody was in their feelings. Someone was just a little hurt. Woo. But I'm actually curious about so warning. What do you think that you're doing here on the internet, on this platform in particular? What do you hope to accomplish? You were probably not present for my previous questions. Of all the people here, of all the backgrounds and varied places in life, what exactly do you hope to accomplish? As a goal, short-term goal. So that was one of the things we were talking about. Yeah, he lasted like 2 minutes. CRISPR was triggered. Oh man. Oh man. You met one person more ignorant than me, CRISPR. CRISPR really got under your goddamn skin. God damn. Good job letting him know that, by the way. We were literally laughing at that today off air. Jesus. Let me publicly tell everyone just how upset I got at this guy. That'll show him. I'll put it in insult form. How hurt I was when he said bad things to me. Time out. One time, Alba. Just time out one time. After that, leave him alone. But my goodness. Again, just rip your dick off and mail it to him. That would be better. Just mail it to him. Jeez. Warning, support, not support. No, yes, he did, actually. And then he was in the middle of saying, none of you know anything about law. And then that's when we all started dying laughing. And he got the hint real quick, and then he amended his statement. It was like, really? So of all of us here in the chat, of all of us here in this hangout, one of us used to be an assistant district fucking attorney in New York. It's not you, warning. So who here would be a judge of whose knowledge on fucking law? Like, really? But that's also the same hangout where we learned something very interesting. Evidently, this fuckhead thinks that he can get the one-up on people who are actually in the field. Like, he gets his information from Wikipedia, for those of you who didn't know that. That's the extent of his knowledge. And through his Wikipedia knowledge, he can surmount anybody who has a background or actual like real life experience. And it didn't matter what the field either. It doesn't matter. I thought that was strange. No, that's not to say that just because you're an expert in the field, you know every goddamn thing. But no, he actually but to get the one up on somebody, you kind of have to know about the field. Just have a cursory understanding. Let's get in front of this truck right here if we can, because that's him swerving on that shoulder. I'm not feeling too good about that. So yeah, I mean, worst case scenario, if that thing busts open, our tires are gonna freeze instantly, and so will the car. But it'll be fun, like some winter wonderland. It's just liquid nitrogen. It's not a big deal. So one of the things used to stay with a partner who was mentally and emotionally abusive. What? Yeah, I could see him saying some shit like that. I mean, when you're brought up in that type of environment, of course you think that that's normal. So not surprised. He said ton of racist stuff to Crimson, and he blamed black people for rap. Yeah, no, he's said he's done the rap music thing with us. He tried. I'm not surprised he ran his mouth to Crimson, but Crimson comes across as one of those dudes as he'd probably throat punch Warning in real life. So, you know, I don't think Crimson would even take him that seriously. So, and again, I think I know Warning knows better. I know that he knows that he can't say the things that he says online to people in real life because people will put hands on him, and he would break like the bitch that he is. I know for a fact. Breaker of men. So it's okay. If this is, but here's the thing. Google Plus is a platform, right? YouTube is a platform where people can get out ideas on a massive scale where they normally could not. And you have to understand that a lot of these people don't want to leave their domicile. A lot of these people can't. They cannot. Warning people. They can't get these ideas out there because I can have a look, folks. I could sit down and I could talk to Tommy Hall about the stupid shit that he believes all day long. But I guarantee he's not going to come at me with, you know, what people of my particular persuasion need to do. Tommy knows better, right? He knows better. You know, that's not to say that, you know, when you get around me, you can't talk. Well, we were making so many racist goddamn jokes off air that it reflected badly upon all of us, and we would all be unemployed if any of that was aired live ever. But all of us actually. So that's not the case. So many Jew and white jokes, so many Jew and white and Mexican jokes. Oh God. But there's a certain, you know, limit. It goes from, you know, us being funny and laughing at race, and then being the fucking reprobate that some of these folks are. You know, there's a huge difference. There's a huge context difference there, and that's very important to know. And so, because of that, because fuckers like this can't express it on here, and they grow these huge balls. I mean, huge balls, and they say crazy shit. And so, because of that, I know good and goddamn well that this is where it's going to stay. And I'll invite any motherfucker who thinks if Tommy wants to come down and run his mouth, I will set aside time for him. If Warning wants to come and say some of this shit to me within arm's reach, I invite him. And I tell you, both of them would get the same treatment the retard from New Jersey got. He'd be on his fucking knees. Around here, well, not here, but around where I live and around the university, people do know me, and they know me as being quite the cordial guy, being thoughtful, being intellectual, and all that other shit. Again, I'm quoting people who have described me to others and who've introduced me to other people. But don't get me wrong, I will snatch your wig in a heartbeat. I'll take your ass outside. I have no problem doing that. But that's the side of me that doesn't need to come out. It's the side of me that I hopefully won't ever have to use, because I think that you can resolve most issues perfectly. But that being said, there's quite a few folks that they want to get tested. You know, they want to feel like they're a man, but they don't have the testosterone to do it. So, you know, it is what it is. So where is he driving to? He is traveling. That cop car is going.
Or in his position like
that. Folks like that do provide entertainment, though. I will say that. It got really dark really quickly. Disappeared. It's nighttime. It is good that people like this exist. And so, that being said, you know, I don't know if being willing to violently beat up someone who badmouths you is something you want to brag about. you misunderstood what I was saying. If people do want to bring it to that level, I am able to. I literally just said I think you can resolve most issues verbally. So I don't know whether you weren't listening or you were retarded, but I literally just said that. Literally just said that. So being able to do something and actually doing it, kind of different. So got the Bowflex train. Yeah, man. You've not been trained unless you've been on that fucking Bowflex regiment. I still need to find out what the exchange rate is for like blowjobs to Bowflexes. Someone needs to do that. Someone needs to do that. The blowjob to Bowflex exchange rate. That could be a project. Make paint so that you'll get ripped. Or you'll get off, one of the two. I guess it depends on which way you're going. So, so we're about an hour and a half left. Hour and a half. Yeah, you've heard my military stories now. You know that I was in the shit. I was out there. Did you guys know I was in the Army? I was a combat medic. I gotta let you guys know that, just in case you forgot. It has nothing to do with this conversation, but I feel as though you need to know that because it adds credibility to myself. I've not actually accomplished anything, but man, I've watched dozens of karate videos. Wait, are you saying that kind of as a? Please tell me that's a joke. Warning, before I say anything else. Please tell me that you made that comment in jest. You tell me you were trying to be funny and you're just adding to the levity and that you want to just kind of fit in. Just lie to me and tell that to me, please. I would hope. Yeah, I kind of am too. Like, just has Prudent and Warning Good People ever actually? You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if they were the same fucking person. Now that I think about it, I wouldn't actually. You know what? You know what? Have they ever actually sat down and spoken to each other? Prudent has more game. Okay, I mean, if you say so, but. Have they ever actually, have we seen them in the same hangout? Prudent is more masculine? Holy shit. If that's, Prudent still looks like he's in the 11th grade trying to figure out why his pee-pee keeps going off in the middle of the night. Prudent's more masculine? You know, that's unfair to Warning, and I'll actually defend Warning here. We've never actually seen him, and some of us discussed last night why we haven't seen him. Why he's never shown a pic or even been on camera. Some of us pretty sure we know why, but still, that's a low bar. There's nothing about Prudent that says masculine, or even male for that matter. But damn, that's mean. That's mean. Jeez, that's words hurt. As True Empiricism once told me, words hurt, Drag. You have to be careful what you say to people because you don't know what they're going through. And he's right. He is right. He is right. Squid Boy did knock a guy out in training. Now, let me okay, look. For a second, Prudent knocked anybody out. All right, let me just put that shit out there. I don't believe he knocked out anybody. I believe he got in a physical confrontation with someone and swang like a little fucking girl, pissed off that somebody was fucking with him. Okay? I don't believe for a goddamn second Prudent knocked anybody out. Part of me wants to ask him what unit he was in just so I could verify his story, because there are ways. Yes. Fucking going out. Jesus, signal going out? No. It's not, like I said, I could find out, but a part of me doesn't want to because I don't want to be disappointed. Sadly. Yeah, the app crashed twice and then it just reconnected. I don't know what's going on. My signal's good. So I don't want to be disappointed by learning the truth of what happened and actually finding someone in that unit, or a cadre who was in the unit, or find one of the guys who graduated. They went on to whatever base, and then have them say what happened, because I know I get the fucking truth. But man, that's the funniest thing that Prudent had said was that, yeah, they're probably they're talking about Prudent, find out what actually happened, like from the, I'm pretty sure he got chapter, but from the Article 15 he more than likely got. I want to find out. We should go to a strip club while we're here in New Orleans. We might do that. We should. I want to say that he received an Article 15, and if you don't know what an Article 15 is, that's your you've been bad paperwork, that you've broken some you've broken one of the Uniform Code of Military Justice fucking statutes or whatever. So that's what if you look up Article 15 Army, that you can read more about it. Anyway, if you read it, I guarantee it'd be more enlightening than his version of the story. I want to say that. I want to say that. So part of me wants to do that, part of me doesn't want to waste the effort, but there was something that Prudent said that I thought was precious. And when I mean precious, when I say precious, I mean pathetic. He said, yeah, those guys who graduated, they're probably still talking about me. They probably, what did Prudent say? They probably think, I'm some sort of hero or something. Or, he didn't say hero. He said something, macho, whatever. And I said, Prudent, man, look. No. They talk about you. They go, you remember that fucking idiot who lasted 7 weeks?
Keep right after 2 miles and continue.
Who lasted 7 of the 9 weeks, and was at the last 2 weeks and couldn't keep his shit together and hit the dude and ended up getting chaptered out. That's what they're saying. They're not saying anything about how cool of a guy you were. I got into it with a dude who just was, one thing, he was a snitch. And when snitching on me, he was snitching on other people, but he would try and brown nose the drill instructors. So during basic training, there's ways that you can sleep, get like extra sleep, and hide from the drill sergeants, and this fucker would like go and tell them and shit like that. Pro tip, the instructors on Sundays leave you alone so you can sleep. They come in around the same time to check on you to make sure that you're not doing something crazy, but it's on a schedule so that you can predict it, because they know that you're trying to get some sleep and they're trying to give you a bit of reprieve without telling you, hey,
after 1 mile and continue on I-10 east.
They're without telling you overtly, hey, we're trying to let you get some sleep. This fucker would go and, oh, you're over there sleeping underneath the cots. It's like stupid shit like that. Like we call those people Blue Falcons, buddy fuckers. Okay, we call them buddy fuckers because they're not trying to be a part of the unit. They're not trying to help out their fellow soldier, and it's shit like that that you don't want to deploy with folks like that, because that's where fratricide comes from. But anyway, me and this dude got into it. This tall, lanky, acne face fucking motherfucker. And this guy backed the fuck down, because I called his ass out. I said, look, you running your goddamn mouth. I'm sick of your shit. Let's handle this. And this was when we were doing combatives. If you look up Modern Army combatives, it looks a lot like MMA, because it is. And I did a fucking crossbody, what's it called? A crossbody choke? Crossbody hold? Can't remember what it's called. But you're not supposed to apply it to someone's temple. Let's put it like that. Guess where I applied it? Guess where I fucking applied it? I did not. Here's where Drag fucked up. Okay. Remember I said he was a acne faced fucker? His whole face exploded on my uniform. Like every zit on his goddamn face exploded on my uniform. And so all it was out was just blood spots, just pock marks, and just what the fuck? Just pock marks, the blood,
Next right.
and just acne debris on my uniform. And it was fucking disgusting. He didn't run his mouth to me anymore after that, but man, was that disgusting. It was fucking disgusting. So that no, what is this challenge here? Stupid shit. Viewers can gather $30,000 that I would challenge you to a legal. Oh my god. So now that's two people here who have challenged me to physical combat. Oh great. Tell you what, if $30,000. So explain to me why $30,000 needs to be raised. Are we raising money for kids with cancer or something? I'm not sure why $30,000 needs to be part of any test of strength. Why is this a thing? YouTube, how to act tough on the internet. $30,000, really? It's so sad. To pay his hospital bill after the fight. Fair enough. Fair enough. Did I misread that? Did I misread? I like the USMC fighting style. Look, let me be absolutely, like, all bullshit aside. If you have not put on a uniform, don't ever in your fucking life say that you're gonna fight like a goddamn Marine. Okay? Don't even. That is an insult to anyone who's ever put on that goddamn uniform. I have way too much respect for them and for my goddamn self to even entertain that fucking thought. Alright? All bullshit aside. You are not even worth the dirt on a devil dog's boot. Alright? So, maybe when you put on a goddamn uniform yourself, I might be enticed to take you up on that. You lack the temerity and the fucking balls to do anything, even anywhere close to what they do. So stick to watching YouTube videos on karate. Alright? Find somebody more on your speed, because you are not anywhere close to my level or anywhere near a devil dog's level. That is absolutely insulting. Now I'm insulted. I'm insulted for them. Jesus. Ugh. I don't know where he gets off thinking that he's even worth my goddamn time. That's what's funny. That's what's fucking funny. And he's more than welcome. I gain nothing out of fighting a fucking pissant like you. Absolutely fucking nothing. I tell you what. I'll tell you what. You go put on the uniform. You go to your local USMC fucking recruiting office and go put on that uniform. Go do you a little bit of service, and then come back to me. Come back when you get that bloodlust. When you get that bloodlust, we'll talk. I'm not gonna fight anybody unless they possess that bloodlust. The kind when you see the other man, your blood boils. They exude an aura. They have that killing intent. They have that 1,000-mile stare. That's what gets you up in the morning. Anything less than that's not worth it. Sorry. I'm just being realistic, man. It's when you fought with people who have killed men That's a different thing than fighting, just slapboxing somebody in the
Keep
fucking
right
ring.
after 2 miles and continue on I-10 East.
Just being real. Just being real. I apologize, vets, active duty, reserves, who are watching the chats. I do apologize, folks. I will not allow this cretin to soil the name of uniformed service members until he has himself fulfilled the basic requirements, such as himself being inducted into the ranks of those worthy of such praise. So I do apologize. So that being said, no balls. Well, warning, one of us has already joined the military and the other hasn't. So I mean, I don't know what else to tell you, man. I've already proven myself. I have my DD-214 at home. Where's yours? Battle me with Yu-Gi-Oh cards. You know what? If he gets his Yu-Gi-Oh cards together, I'll go find some. I'll go get a starter deck. I'll go buy a starter deck. Well, for one thing, no one's raising $30,000
Keep right after 1 mile and continue on I-10 East.
No one's going to gather $30,000 to watch me kick you around a ring, and actually it reflects badly upon me to fight somebody half my goddamn size. So that's again, I gain nothing and I actually lose out of that exchange. So no, sorry, sir. I reserve the right to accept challengers worthy of something. It ain't you. Oh, there we go. Bob, so he'll pay you $500. Bob will do it for the money too, man. He'll pay you $500. Now, we warn you about Bob. You might want to stay out of his arm's reach. That's what the fuck I'm just telling you what I would do. I wouldn't go within his arm's reach. Because if he grabs me, I'm gonna be in fucking trouble. That's a little bit of information.
Right.
Don't let his ass grab you. He got those big fucking sausage fingers. He grabs your ass, that's it. You ever watch Baki the Grappler? You know that big ass fucking dude that can squeeze people's arms and make the blood vessels explode?
Keep
Can't
left
remember his
after
name.
68 miles and continue on I-10 East.
You're good. You stay right here. On this lane. I don't know. There's just, I think someone's hard braking. Yeah, they're hard braking. I worship military in school. Actually, I'm pretty critical of military. I'm not sure why I would worship. Why wouldn't I still be in the military then if I worshipped it? I mean, no. I wish I knew where Adam's old army buddy Larson is. Larson was scare the crap out of him in 5 seconds flat. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's. Because his piggy bank is controlled by his mom. Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's a good point, Bob. That's a very good point. You gotta ask mommy to get that hammer and break it open. Yeah, if you come from a Navy family, that's acceptable. Holy, that's acceptable. I understand. I understand. They didn't join a real service, so you know they're jealous of those of us who did. That's fine. I get shit from the Marines that I'm in class. I actually have a few classmates that are Marines, so I get shit from them all the time, and I give them shit, so it's fair. Yeah. It's only fair. Army has the most preventable acts. That is actually a fact. That is actually a fact. Holy is actually accurate about that. There's a lot of preventable accidents. Actually, I'll tell you one. So let me see who all can answer this question, right? And let's assume for this example, you're part of a cavalry unit, but you're part of an armored cavalry unit. So you don't have horses like in the old metallic horses made of several tons of steel. Okay. If you're out in the field with your mechanical horses, where don't you sleep? Let's see who knows the answer to that. You'll see where this is going in a second. The Mall of Louisiana. Look at that. Mall of Seagan Lane. Does it look familiar? Okay. We're getting pretty accurate. Nim's close. Nim's close. People are close. In the barrel. So we do not sleep under our metallic horses. You don't sleep under a tank. One of my first year as a part of the 11th Armored Cavalry Regiment, we had a guy die out in the fucking field because he slept underneath one of the tanks. Yes, someone died, slept underneath the tank. You're probably wondering, why would someone do that? My answer is, I don't fucking know. There's Drag. Where did you sleep if you were in that unit? Drag slept inside or on top of the tank. You can sleep on top of the tank. You do not sleep on the near the bilge. There's a, I'm trying to see how I can describe it. There's an exhaust port on the top of the passenger, passenger side in the front of the vehicle. There's a bilge pump that pumps out the water and the muck and shit like that when you're going through water and swamp, all that stupid shit. And there's an exhaust port over there too, for obviously the engine. It's a lot of black fucking smoke coming out of it. But you don't sleep over on that side for obvious reasons. But you can sleep almost anywhere else on the vehicle. It's a pretty flat surface up there. You just kind of have to kind of contort your body around the fucking the top of the portholes. There's a name for the caps, but I can't remember what they're called. They have names, but you don't sleep up there. So is it also about 2 meters? No, it's a bit smaller than that. No, Star Wars reference for those of you who don't get that. But you don't sleep there. But you don't ever sleep under a vehicle. You would think that's common sense. And it's not. I still saw people sleeping underneath the vehicle. I also saw people getting their asses chewed out for sleeping underneath the vehicle. Obvious reasons. If you're up in the morning and you're trying to get in line for the fuelers, because the fuelers are going to come out to your area at the ass crack in the morning and make their rounds. You got to get your ass up and turn on your vehicle and go get in line to get fuel for the day. Because that's probably the only time you're going to get fuel until like later, like way later. It depends on what kind of movements you're doing. So you probably go back to a cop later on, like we did, an hour and a half away from whatever place we were at, and get more fuel. But they're pretty fuel efficient. I don't really remember fueling up more than twice ever in a day for and like, you know, a 10-12 hour days worth of missions. I don't remember ever filling up more than twice. So even then, you can get, even if you're old, there's still waivers. Here's something that a lot of people don't really kind of get when they're going to join. And I was talking to you guys remember Isaiah Sloan before he joined. There's a few people who joined recently that talked to me privately, and I've told them, don't think that because someone's in physical shape that they're going to make it. You'll never think that, because I had someone like, you know, the New Jersey retard. He could run his ass off. His name was Mbufu. Mbufu didn't make it, and yes, Mbufu was African, but Mbufu was a piece of shit. And matter of fact, he was such a piece of shit that instead of telling each other that we were going to go take a shit, because there's a limited number of stalls and you need to know where your battle buddy is at all times. So my battle buddy was I don't think it was Molina back then. I think, yeah, it eventually did become Molina. So I'll just use Molina. So it was John Molina, and he, I'd let him. I'm about to go take an Mbufu. We, instead of us saying we're going to go take a shit, we would all just use his name. That's how much we didn't like him. That's how much we didn't like him. And he didn't make it because you could pretty much vote. It was a funny thing that happened. You could, oh, he's leaving. Oh, bye, warning. Come back when you actually do something with your fucking life, loser. So, yeah, we would all go in and take, before we go take a shit, we would all say like really loud, yeah, I'm about to go take an Mbufu, I'll be right back. And everyone would just die laughing because this dude, he could not work as a team. He could not. He refused to work with anybody else. You have to, well, how does that work? Well, there are team exercises, and he didn't want to like help anybody. Like, you would have to help people over walls and shit. He wouldn't do it. And toward the end of our cycle, you could pretty much write down, you know, who would you want to kind of deploy with, you know, who didn't want to work as a team, you know, who, and almost everybody. That noise is a car going over. I'm not sure what these things are called. They're pretty much etches in the ground. Not ground. They're etchings in the concrete to keep people awake. And so imagine someone making 4 or 5 scratches in concrete every 10 feet, and so they're there to keep you awake. And they're annoying as fuck, but they're there for a purpose. I have no idea what they're called, but anyway, yeah, everyone put on that piece of paper that they hated Mbufu. Mbufu didn't make it because he was doing some other shit too, like taking food from the DFAC and hiding and lying and all this other kind of shit. I think he was going down to the PL and selling people shit. There was all types of shit fucked up with him, but he did not make it through. I was not shocked at all, but man, he had one of the best PT scores in our entire company. He could outrun me any day. Like, he could easily outrun me. Mbufu couldn't shoot for shit. I remember my first time at the range. Okay, my first time ever firing a fucking. We didn't have our M4s back then. Yeah, no. Yeah, this was this was Charlie Company. Yeah, I got a chance to shoot in San Antonio when I was doing my medic training. So there we go. I had to get that straight. So we were, what's going on? We were at the range. Ass crack. Just looked at one of the people's chat. He seems like he is actually a horrible person. If you didn't know that. But so okay. Signal's bad. So you have to account for the bullet drop, basically. I didn't understand that at first, even though I was told that. It takes a little while to get on. I think I'm trying to think of what the scorecard was. I think it was out of 32. Someone feel free to correct me. But I think I got 22 or 24 out of whatever the maximum was. My first time. Not too bad, but you know, it could definitely be better. The subsequent times that we went to the range, I got better. I actually really do miss going to the range. It was actually pretty fun. So Mbufu, let me tell you how bad he was. Like, people had to go there and go back and try and requalify, because I think the minimum was a score of 16 or something. I don't know. I'm just gonna say 16, whatever. So a little over half of what I think is the maximum. This dude could not even hit the minimum. Could not. We had to stay at the range almost a half hour after everyone else was done qualifying because he was so bad at shooting. I didn't think people could be this bad. Like, you would think after the first few times, like, don't aim at any of the fucking 150, 200 meter ones, whatever. I think Marines do some crazy shit. I think there's like a 500 meter target way the fuck out there. But we don't do shit like that. Like we engage at that particular range. So don't aim for anything at like 150. Get everything, you know, get Fast Freddy that's right there in the front. You know, get the 50 ones, get the 50 meter ones, whatever. You know, try the 100 meter ones if you want to. But he wasn't hitting the one in the back. And I barely hit that one because I had to raise my rifle quite a bit just to get the bullet drop just enough to hit that fucking 150 meter target. It feels half time I was like, man, did I hit it or did it just go down because I took too fucking long? But I don't know. Anyway, this guy was terrible. He was absolutely ass at firing a weapon, and so that caused a bit of controversy, I guess you could say, because he would run his goddamn mouth to people and talk shit all the time. But it's like, Mbufu, what if we're in a war zone? Are you gonna fucking run from them? Like, that's cool that you can run fast, bro. But if you can't actually engage the goddamn enemy, what good are you as a soldier? Now, I have to tell folks, like, look, if you've not been amongst any type of veterans, if you've not been amongst folks of that, because it's a different culture. There is none of this fucking, you know, feelings and bullshit like that. It is straight facts. It is absolutely in your face, just grit. Because if he wanted to run his mouth, we were going to state facts. And that's one of the things that I told his ass. Because he would make fun of me because, you know what? I don't think I even passed my first PT test because my stamina was just terrible. And had to get better over time. And eventually, I did pretty good on my 2 mile run. Eventually. His shooting never fucking improved. And so one of the things that I would talk to his ass about was like, look, I can improve my running, but guess what? I'm not going to have to keep running from my fucking enemy. I'm going to be engaging them and shooting them the first goddamn time. What are you going to do? Are you going to run with grenades in your hand and plant grenades behind them or some shit? What are you going to fucking do? And so, man, that was a huge contention, huge. And it, you know, it got to the point where his little dick suckers too would join in. And I was like, look, I mean, if you guys want to go and fucking suck him off, maybe you could spend some time and hopefully improve his goddamn aim. And that actually did spark some tension between me and some short fucker, to the point that he threatened to put hands on me. I took my glasses off and I got this close to his fucking face and I said, I dare you. I fucking dare you. And so we got in his face and we almost came to blows. But neither one of us did.
Make the next left turn.
None of us did. We are both smart enough to know, if we get into a fight here, we're both going to be out. So we dropped it. That was a smart fucking thing to do. That's how you address conflict in that nature. So on this note, folks, we're going to take a piss, take a little break. I think I'm going to take over and drive for a bit. Probably upload a video maybe later. Might just upload a Patreon video, don't know yet, but we'll get y'all a video maybe before or after the Mel Hangout. So see y'all later.